Good evening, and welcome to The Pale Beyond, a survival management sort of game in which we're going into an Arctic wasteland, of which death and all sorts of other terrible fates await us. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful night. I played a little bit on my own and then decided this would probably be a better streaming sort of game. So we're gonna jump back in. Oh, the air be cold. A flake and white, a sailor begs their pledge. Hey, welcome time, welcome Bloodfang, and any other folks. Out in the ice, they'll stake a claim and carve a course ahead. A glory found in forged in frost, so that their tale may be spread. Hunger draws the desperate here. So lonely souls need led. What will you do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods, out of the pale beyond. Hey, welcome, Arfandith. Crew wanted, able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition, months of darkness, low wages, we're being paid with exposure, slim chance of safe return, glory to be had in the event of success. Should probably have some exclamation marks. Let's do this. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand is long since gone cold. I like cold tea, but I'd rather coffee. Hey, welcome, Perot. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. Low wages coming in. A metronome ticks away steadily. I find it rather calming. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. It stops. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. Oh, thank you. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? Sorry? I have enough to get by. And just go like, ah. You bare your teeth to the man. I'm not a vampire, see? There's the light outside. It's streaming in. Good. Can never be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose people to. Are you speaking from experience? And my name is Robin Shaw, which I'm sure plenty of folks will make various Hollow Knight jokes about. How many people have died under your supervision? I don't appreciate this line of questioning. I'm here for the low wages. Let's see. We'll say, more than I care to admit. I've gotten people killed. I put people in graves. Can you remember their faces? What are you insinuating? That I stole their faces? Every single one. That's why I drink coffee. Hey, welcome, Psycho. Welcome. Do try to keep it English so that it's easier for moderated, but welcome. Every single one. Please, take a seat. Thank you. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels warm. I'm Captain Hunt. Shaw! Well, we're just gonna... The pleasure is mine. Robin Shaw. He nods. On your desk, what ship is that? Ah, this detailed, isn't she? Incredibly. Yeah, Shaw was the right answer. An old sailor superstition. I hope you weren't waiting too long. I'm told it's worth the wait. Low wages. This is Silk Song. This is the entire thing we've been waiting for. The secret Shadow Drop Team Cherry thing. Good. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad, interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. The advert said there was glory to be had, and low wages. How low of wages are we talking about? How much exposure would you like? Months of darkness. Low wages. Slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? Quite the opposite. It's why I'm here. I'm here to get everyone killed. Quite, yeah. A thirst for adventure, then. He winks. I'd keep that to yourself around the other sailors. They might drown you in it. I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. How low can we pay you? Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? The ocean, same as yourself. I am a sailor. The ocean, same as yourself. I'm salt born and bred. Military experience? Criminal. We're only evading them. Let's see. Which should we be? Colonial merchant or criminal? Is this like we're pirating Silk Song at this point, so we should be a criminal? Or are we, criminal seems legit. Alright, criminal experience. Only evading them. Honesty is good. So you've skirted the law before, then. Is this honest work? I just told you, honesty is good, and this is good work. Have you ever fired a weapon? Yes. I've killed many men, and sunk many ships. Have you ever killed a man, directly or otherwise? I don't appreciate this line of question. I will have to shoot you, good sir. Yes. My character probably needs an eye patch after this. I see. You're not married, are you? Only happily to Silk Song. Hey, welcome, Red Sea. You had to let a machete go for cutting wages of the IT department? Oh no. So wait, are we happily married? Of course not, or that's irrelevant. Quick, you must decide. Actually, I wonder if you can set it up to, like, that probably would be Twitch integration to do that. You haven't killed a man, my machete has? Yeah, but... yeah, happily married to Silk Song. And you're sure they're fine with you leaving for this long? Not married? Okay, sorry. Yeah, we've been through worse. Oh, ready, okay. Well, welcome. We've been through worse, besides we need the money, the low wages. One must believe they'll return to justify leaving any family in the first place. Yours is counting on that. Is there a rest stop between here and the point, Captain Hunt? So where are we headed? We're here to find the ship in that bottle. It's right there, Captain. The Viscount. Heard of it? No, enlighten me. Give me the lore drop, Captain Hunt. He clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition towards the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. Oh, Viscount, strange name for a ship. Everyone can go home now. Oh, I'm probably gonna get killed. This one's called The Pale Beyond. It released on Friday. They can't all be named for dukes and princes. Viscount wasn't always hereditary, was an earned title once. Admirals certainly love their metaphors. Almost as much as their medals. He trails off. Anyway, the point is she never came back. The last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost to the ice. Hey, welcome, Eber. Hopefully you're having a wonderful night. 5 years is a bit late for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. Or undead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. Okay, research, you have my attention. The captain smiles. Here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. Until now. They died so hard they undied. They got killed until they died from it. Someone was found who claimed to have been on that ship. And where are they now? Dead. But their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first bait, somebody else will, and, well, my judge of character's gotten me this far. Who's financing all this? Who's crazy enough to? The usual. Film and lecture rights have been sold, of course. Oh, our movie rights have already been sold? No wonder why it's low wages. We're not even getting any royalties out of this. We're in the process of signing off on a final benefactor for the expedition. I'm not getting any book rights out of it. Wait. Film rights and lecture rights, that might leave my book rights. I can do a PR tour after this. They've even donated a ship. We'll be traveling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty, Greenwood, generational. Not many like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance. They're sister ships. Built together, sent out into the world to die alone. Hey, you seem to really love these metaphors, man. Indeed. Perhaps that makes me a hypocrite. But I like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So what do you think? I think I'll go. The end. Credits roll, theme music plays. Let's see. Sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. We will. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. You're not what I expected. And what did you expect? We're more than our mistakes, Robin. Let people surprise you. I'll see you on the Temperance. The captain makes his way to the door and you follow. Oh, hey, welcome, Dina. No, they mean two different things. Our adventure begins. You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Before you lies a ship. The letters on its side read Temperance. You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. He's quick to inspect you for ink. Another sailor for the fold, mid-deck with the others. I'm Robin Shaw. Oh, of course, that would make you the captain's choice for first mate, correct? I'm Mr. Templeton. I should be operating as Chief Science Officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. Mr. Templeton, I shall look forward to working together. Let us shake hands and... No, it's because that's our name. We are Robin Shaw. I expect you to be up for the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable at best. He needs like a monocle. Be extra snooty. No doubt I'd need to inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. But I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabble I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organized sort. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. I doubt there will be much issue. I got my criminal background. We can only hope. But your role is more strenuous than it would first seem. Let me know when you're ready to depart. I'm certain you're eager to be back on the ocean. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. You'll be gone for quite a while. It'll be some time before you see the city again. And any news of Silksong will not reach us on the open sea. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. Near identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. Set sail. Yeah. Hey, don't you want the low wages? We're not going to get paid otherwise. Ah, see, this looks beautiful. It's been a month. A hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely souls need lead. What will you do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods out of the pale beyond. First Mate Shaw, personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week since we set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere, before they turn cold. Captain Hunt has mostly kept to his quarters so far. I'm not sure what to make of our leader. I can't shake the feeling he's not telling the whole truth. The Pale Beyonds we're looking for the Pale Kings. Lost research. I mustn't let my guard down. Enigmatic indeed. Who's paying for this? I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all of this. Certainly not the captain. I intend to investigate further. I've never been on a ship like this before. It's an abomination. A technical marvel. Elegant machinery expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life. She's simply magnificent. Yeah. Hey, I can complain about the low wages all I want. There are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice, to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. The crew are a strange lot, eclectic as the ship itself. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Captain wants you at the helm. Get there now. He leaves. The crow's nest currently stands unoccupied. We're not even going south, we're just like going random directions. The scouting team are expected to join at the next port. And quick, find a nail. The forecastle door appears to be locked. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin, lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's days like these. I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Here, why don't you have a try? You should take advantage of calm water for once. I imagine you didn't see many in your past line of work. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Ah, Captain, I'm sailing into the clouds. Into the foggy mists. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship in the wind. Easy. There, you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Peaceful, isn't it? He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. It's not fuck. I'm gonna enjoy having the criminal thing pop up. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Painting? Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna put us at ease. A classical painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. An ode to an old folk story of the great Captain Seamus' dance with the Salt Kings. A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor. A luxury to be had on the ice. On the desk you make out a variety of papers, notes, and maps, as well as a sealed letter with a stamp you don't recognize. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. Time to take some requests. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed onto this expedition, ourselves included. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You are only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at the next port. A lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will end, tearing itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. Yes, we're gonna get ourselves horribly killed. If you cannot afford the minimum food rations at the end of the week, crew will become malnourished. Unless cured, the malnourished status will develop into scurvy, a severe status effect that will prevent crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of a week. And more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. Cold temperatures will increase the minimum fuel required at the end of the week. If you cannot afford that minimum fuel, crew will become freezing. While it's cured, it will develop into frostbite, a severe status effect that prevents from working, eventually killing them at the end of a week. People are totally gonna die on this. The sledding dogs. Well, there's still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Sending hunts out further requires a great amount of dogs. They will rest and become available between the weeks. Now, on to work. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring him then. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we're headed, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside that crate? It's Predator Zone and Clock. Oh. I did, sir. Ah, how old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true. I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your Jamoon from your bowsprit? I do. I learned it all from my da. Your da? He's Ward's son. Followed him on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, Shaw? Hunt eyes you up. Your first mate. What should we do with him? We're gonna keep him on board. We're not gonna, like, toss him overboard. I'd keep them on board. Hunt squints. Why? Oh, okay. Let's see. You need all the help you can get. This young man wants to help. Sacrifice item? No. You need all the help you can get. This young man wants to help. I'd say we let him. Alright, boy, consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. Captain, not sir. Aye, Captain. Stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, it seems the litter has a new runt. I hope the rest won't mind sharing their rations. +1 crew. What of the father? Let's see. I doubt he intended for this to happen. We'll keep an eye on them both. His name's Run. Could be a nickname, since he's the kid. I doubt he intended for this to happen. We'll keep an eye on them both. Suppose you're right. Well, that matter's sorted. Have you agreed on my conditions? To the point, eh? Shaw, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sled. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island, but you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. I know, doggos. You can pet the dogs in this. Everyone's name just rhymes with hunt. No. Besides, some of that might not be appropriate, so no actually rhyming that. It's one thing to ask for my Hokeno, it's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. What exactly... You could definitely pet the dog. Well, what exactly are these demands? She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition, as a member of the crew. None on the ship have the experience and familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, Shaw. We just accepted a stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't see the harm of having an expert on the sled dog. Besides, if we're going on the ice and going to be naming the dogs, an expert would seem to be a great idea. Feed everyone a dog? No. I don't see the harm in having an expert on the sled dogs. A good point, Shaw. He turns to her. The deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to haul them. And I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge shall prove it valuable. Invaluable. I'll have a room prepared for you below deck. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Shaw. Ooh, 14 available dogs. All the more dogs to pet. Now that it's settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair, you couldn't mistake them for another. Do you require me for this meeting? No, this isn't a matter the first officer needs to concern themselves with. They'll be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Ooh, join the figure bouncing on the mast. Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasha Belford, balanced on the ship's mast with her camera, lining up a photo. We're gonna wait. Snapping a shot, she clambers down, only noticing you on her landing. Oh, Officer Shaw! It's about time I met the first officer of the ship. Kasha Belford. Nice to meet you, Kasha. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there? Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's a shot you cannot simply pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasha Belford won the Fentler Prize, the highest honor in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely any chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time on the sea like this. We have to think well of everyone. Inexperience is a matter of interest, but her accolades speak for themselves. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Ah, that sounds fine to me. I like it. For the piece on this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like the work of an amateur. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Kasha places a finger to her chin, squinting her eye in thought. It's not perfect, but it's a work in progress. Plenty of time. We haven't even hit the ice yet. It's just all so exciting already. Well, I suppose you've had your fill of thrills up till now. How does everyone know my criminal background? At least this thrill is within the law. You know who I am? Of course, I thoroughly researched the crew of the Temperance. May seem somewhat excessive, but I feel it's necessary for a proper chronicle in that and plenty of pictures. Or maybe a mugshot in your case. Don't worry, Shaw. You don't have a reputation that sets you apart from the rest. A celebrity like Kurt Darlin's presence will dwarf any rumors that could form about you. Damn, I'm gonna need to wear an eye patch. That reminds me. He'll be joining us at the next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasha holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. Here's your mugshot. Let's see. How long do they take to develop? Only a day or two. I've made a makeshift darkroom in the hold. Speaking of photographs, she hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. Of course, you just decided to have all these undiscovered people that you're not really telling me about. I like how my picture doesn't have an actual face. I feel like that I need an eye patch over that, though. Key items. The camera. The accordion. It's a work in progress. The scout team are to join us at the next port. The captain's forbidden me from the boiler room. A murderer for row? I don't know what type of criminal. I'm assuming we pirated Silksong, that's why we got a criminal background. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. Thank you, Kasha. She smiles. I'll not disturb you of your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get before the sun lowers anyhow. Safe shots, officer, don't worry. You leave her to her work. There is someone with the, with an accordion. Okay. Oh, the forecastle's preparing the room inside, so I still can't talk to her. Spart a large man with a youthful gait, carrying a heavy crane over his shoulder with relative ease. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. Two Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get your nickname later. Two Johns attempts to offer a handshake, but loses control of the crane. He struggles, before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Ha! Maybe later. Work awaits! No. He's got his accordion right there. One of the crew, a red-headed man with a thick beard, sits proud, playing an ivory accordion. He spots you and ceases in his playing. Need something? Nice accordion. Do you mind if I see? Accordion player takes a step back as you approach. You can see from there. No touching. I was just looking for the Stoke brothers. Emergency? Just a meeting with Hunt. You're speaking to one of them. Grimly Stoke. Grimly Stoke, not Smoke. We'll head up after dinner. You can go now. The man gestures to the cook across the room before resuming his plane. Dinner time! The crew have their meal. It passes in relative silence. The crew returns to their posts. The hammocks aren't furled in preparation for the evening. Twilight falls. Ooh. Over dinner, you hear the newly picked up stowaway speaking with a one-armed man. Ada, your lucky hunt didn't throw you overboard. I have a mind to do that myself. Come on, Da. I'm here to help. Better know that involves work. Don't expect special treatment. I won't. You're an impossible child, Timmy. Ooh. You spot one of Templeton's science team pacing around the mid-deck, searching through some luggage that didn't pull it from a cabin. Let me look at the light. Where was it now? He notices you. Ah, Officer Shaw, correct. Dwight Glossley. Apologies, I seem to have misplaced something while settling in the cabin. Oh, you have a great day ready. And good luck with your studying. And the classes in general. A bottle of wine, actually. You best not be drinking on the job. Maybe one of the sailors took it like I did. I needed to do my drinking criminal background. Can't be hard to miss. It will turn up eventually. I would hope so. My wife and I bought a bottle to celebrate with. To be saved for the journey back, of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. Looks rather pretty out there. As you look over the rail and out to the ocean, a wisp of smoke flies past your face. You turn to examine at a spot a sailor with a pipe in his mouth and a sheet of paper in his hand, overlooking the stirring waters. Looking at something? Any spare tobacco? Any spare tobacco? I don't share. Tashi, you're Robin Shaw, aren't you? Hi, I've heard of ye. Damn it, everyone knows my criminal background. Don't worry, won't tell anyone. Stealing tobaccos be the least of your crimes. Tashi falls silent, begins to read the letter. Trying to draw a conversation from him may be similar to extracting teeth. I have to admit, suggesting that I go criminal background has been the best part so far, just to see the pop-ups. You spot Templeton, looking out into the sunset. As you approach, he turns to you and nods. Ah, Officer Shaw. It will be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution towards the southern pole is quite the change. It'll be quite some time before we return home. Indeed. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the stirring waters of the ocean. Criminal pops up. This is a great expectation upon us, officer. Are you feeling the pressure, Mr. Templeton? I cannot afford to. We all have to keep our focus. Templeton looked down, catching his reflection in the ocean surface. He looked back up at the sunset. Quite the sight, but I wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It's important the first officer be well rested. All right. And a week passes. Up on the ice. Okay, so having normal. If we do high, then it goes to 75. That, it looks like that would get some decorum, but we're already maxed out. So if we cut rations, or get no ration, no one eats this week, then that will do decorum. No one goes hungry, or no one goes fed. Alright, we're gonna just confirm rations. We're not gonna starve anyone yet. I play Oregon Trail. We're going at a grueling pace. Oh, hey, welcome, Pogo Bro. This one's called The Pale Beyond. It's a It's a survival management one as you travel into an Arctic wasteland in search of a ship. And it's research. The ship makes its last port at Orca Island. Cordell's sled and dogs are picked up. Scout and crew and Kurt Darlin are picked up. The days are getting brighter as you move further south. And we are first mate Robin Shaw, who is out to, funny choice of words. It's gonna get a lot more than chill soon. Hey, welcome, Jackson. Okay, there's a rap on your cabin door. And my criminal background, everyone seems to comment on. It's great. Come in. The door swings open to reveal Kurt Darlin, all but Phil in his frame, grinning ear to ear. There you are, Officer Shaw. The ship's navigator is a difficult man to miss. Stature and reputation precede him. Adorned with a slew of apparatus, the seemingly one-man expedition would be known to anyone following the heyday of exploration. And the merchandising that followed! It's an honor, really. A wealth of invaluable experience in such hostile environments. I wonder he's not been swept up to some other post. You don't know how it's made a weapon which add an axe onto a musket? I don't think we get that, unfortunately. That would probably be helpful with where we're going. Hiding away from the rest of us, are you? Are you always this early to rise? Are you always this early to rise? Good God, it's 4:30. These days I tend to enjoy a good lie-in, but not during an expedition. You know what they say of early birds and worms. Apologies for not stopping by sooner, Shaw. It took a while to set up my team, and a great deal of the crew were quite eager to meet me. That's right, you're something of a celebrity, aren't you? I think with what I played, I think we reached the ice on the next one, next week. The first 2 weeks are kind of like the tutorial to get you more understanding of how to play. I take that to mean you haven't heard of me before? Well, that is a pleasant surprise. There aren't many who haven't seen my films, particularly in this line of work. Hey, this is because of my criminal background, Kurt. I pirated your films. More than one fellow on this crew said my work inspired them to explore the world. Quite the honor, is it not? I'm certain you receive that praise often. Yeah, we can actually assign people to get food and coal from the boiler room. So you have to actually assign people because you can grab like one thing of rations, which is like 20 food, but you need to be able to assign more people throughout this. And as we discover more people in the manifest, then we'll be able to get more things done. The ship will eventually get stuck on the ice, at which point the real game begins. That's why we'll need our dogs and everything. Not as often as you would think. I suppose I did get distracted, didn't I? Anyway, I was hoping you'd join me up deck. Of course, but why? We finally entered the pack. I thought you'd want to see it for yourself. I'll be right behind you, Kurt. And a lot of dialogue options is also going to change the loyalty of group members. So, okay. Well, good. Hopefully your brother makes a good recovery, Jackson, and you have a wonderful night. Kurt turns to walk away before turning back. Oh, and enjoy your morning. It's a good day, Shaw. Ah! He leaves. Open my journal. Okay, so I haven't written anything yet. That's my cabin. Many of the crew are still fast asleep lying in hammocks. Best not disturb them, Shaw. You don't want to find yourself dealing with an abruptly woken sailor. Let us head up deck. Sounds of snoring are rather obnoxious. Thank goodness I've got my own cabin. Oh. Mrs. Gloss. You notice one of the science team return into the room. Ah, Mrs. Gloss. Did you have a good rest? She nods to you. Ah, hello. I did not expect many to be up in this early. Harriet Glossley. I believe I've met your husband. Ah, yes. Dwight made mention of your encounter. He's still fast asleep. He's adjusted his ship well. I believe a walk around the ship would help acclimate myself to the waves. Perhaps it will take some more time. With that, Mrs. Gloss makes her way back to her cabin. Unfortunately, we're gonna try and not get ourselves killed as much as possible. I do think I want to try and do like a solo run where I am trying to look for game overs with it, because I understand that you can get everyone killed very easily. The science team aren't used to the sea, or the sailor folk. Quite the culture clash, isn't it? Well, I'm sure they'll grow used to them over time. Oh, doctor's office. The door to the doctor's office remains locked. Seems the good doctor isn't in. Or perhaps enjoying his sleep. Or his morphine. At the stern, you notice an older sailor at the helm. The old man takes in a deep breath of the cold air before letting out a satisfied exhale. Morning! And a good morning to you! He eyes you up. Officer Shaw, right? Lefty. Told me that on account of, well, that should be obvious. Impress them with my buoyancy? No, it's been a week of travel, he chuckles. Don't worry about the bad sight. This is all feel. Just keeping her steady. He examines you. Surprise Hunt picked someone from outside for his first mate. Tries us well. He seems the insular type. Hey, welcome, Advent, and congrats on your exams. At least in terms of being over. Hopefully it means some newfound freedom. He is. He must be something special for Hunt to look outside the ranks. Damn it, my criminal background. Heard some rumors about what you were up to before. Honestly, that might be a boon in Hunt's eyes. Warnings like these are about the only peace I get from the younger lot. You should take these moments when you can. Lefty returns his attention to the helm. As you get older, I suppose you do learn to value the quiet moments, eh? Let us hope we're just as diligent when we're old and grey. Myself before you, of course. You join Kurt at the bow of the ship. You both feel the Temperance break the floes below you. Gripping the railing, he draws an enormous breath. The footing beneath rises as the ship mounts an impending ice floe. There's a moment hesitation before a profound crack relieves the ship, cascading across the ice. I know, I really want to know what we did. That's our criminal background. He exhales. See? Nothing else like it. You went wrong. It's something, all right. Look at the ice. No two cracks are the same. All caused by us. By the laws of nature, this place wants us dead. And yet, here we are, traversing in harmony. How fantastic is that? How far are we from land? That's probably true. We've also pirated things. I'm gonna assume I pirated Kurt's films. We're about a week's sail from the last known location of the old Viscount. Assuming she isn't exactly where they left her, we can't take smooth sailing for granted. Same goes for this daylight. It won't remain in this bright for so long once winter encroaches. Beautiful as the ice is, on this course, it's going to get thicker. He looks out across the white. We won't be so confident when the leads dry up and we're stuck here till the next cycle. I know, it has a lovely kind of, the visual novel kind of style to it. We need to change course. Avoid the pack. You informed Captain Hunt. He won't listen to me. Thinks I've been dulled by retirement. I probably see more ice than he has whiskey. We have enough supplies if it comes to that. It's not the supplies I'd be worried about in that situation. Perhaps people will turn on each other before they let themselves starve. Have you ever experienced a long night winter? It's not pleasant, to say the least. If it comes to that, we'll adapt. Oh, hey there, kitty. Huh, I can see why he hired you. You should understand, Robin. We're only as good as the unhappiest man. Cheer up, then. I'll do what I can. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Kurt nods and turns back to look across the ice. Deputy Backup First Mate Artemis reported for duty. It's time to take requests. Ah, Shaw. Ready for another day of work. Did you hear Kurt's advice? He wants us to switch course. Aye, he had a few words to share. He may have been an expert in his time, but these days Kurt is one with more money than sense. Anyway, back to work. I was hoping you'd help me work through a few more requests from the crew. And you may have noticed the line pulling up outside. Everyone wants something, it seems. Call them in as you please. Oh, that's a lot more people this time. A short, sour-faced man in engineer clothing approaches. Are you acting daft, Hunt? Not with intention. No bloody surprise you didn't notice. Sure, this is our chief engineer, Clive Hammond. An opinionated one. What is it, Hammond? We've hit the ice and you haven't assigned any extra men down on the boiler. You have your engineering team. Wait, he has a bomb? That looks like more like a little flamethrower. Little blowtorch. I know, he did. I guess it's the benefit of being like a movie star. And we've only got 6 arms between us. I need more manpower maintaining this. Sailors. Many of the crew have their own tasks they're busy with. I know I've already assigned Smurp on a matter. The captain turns to you. How many do you think is fair? 1? 3? More. Oh no. Assign crew. Okay, 1 to 4. Ooh, assign some scientists. No, I can't. They're a tag team couple, but they can't be assigned. Let me see. Jeez. There you go. There's 4. You can take Tashi, 2 Johns, Corvid, and Joe. Take the men you need, Hammond. Aye, thank you. We'll keep that border alive through the ice. He leaves. I think that might have some inspiration, because I think I've heard of some references to that show, although I've never seen it myself. You won't be seeing much of him, though. Prefers to burrow himself into the boiler room. Captain Shaw? A thought occurred to me the other day while looking through the crew manifest and... well, it might be too late for this now that we've already entered the ice. Out with it. I thought it would be good to have individual photos of the full crew. For your report? Not only my report, it would be a good reference for the manifest. Put faces to the names. Much of the crew have served me for years, some decades. I have little problem putting faces to the names. Your thoughts, Shaw? If nothing else, it would make for a good souvenir. Besides, we'll need this for our book rights hunt. Oh, you have a great night at Advent. And good luck with classes. Sentimental of this expedition, are you? The proper photographs will have some historical weight to it. Well, Belford, I see no problem there. I'll arrange for the pictures to be taken before the crew have their dinner. Thank you, Captain. Shaw. In the meantime, I'll attempt to get as many individual crew photos as I can. You're still welcome to help on that matter, Officer Shaw. She departs satisfied. It enters the office. Hunt, you asked for a report on how the stowaway was doing? Aye, I wanted to see if the young boy has been settling in well. He has indeed. It means another mouth to feed, but the boy works hard and doesn't ask much. He's his dad to guide him as well. I'm sure the boy's father is ecstatic. Worried sick, but happy aye. Well, what do you know, Shaw? Perhaps we were right to keep the boy around. She leaves. Finish the requests. Good to have that all settled then. Perhaps we shouldn't rule out old Kurt so easily. If the man thinks there could be an alternate path through the ice, he's free to search for it. Sure, meet with him when you have time. Changing course or not, we'll want one of his scouts set up at the crow's nest. Take care of that, and then you'll be done for the day. Ooh, approach the sick young man. Oh no, seasick. You spot a youthful man leaning over the side of the ship, his head slumped as he looks into the icy pool below. It appears he's been visited by a spot of seasickness. Just pat him heavily on the back. You okay? You speak out, and the sickly man doesn't answer. He raises his head and turns to spot you, his eyes widen in shock as he does. The bespectacled young man shaken with unease. He stares at you for a brief moment, a look of shame plastered upon his face. Sorry. Are you alright? Yes. Well, not really. I'm very sorry. The man turns around and hurriedly runs in the opposite direction, avoiding your gaze. Arthur Nutley. Added to manifest. Oh, listen. You overhear two of the newly arrived scouting crew talking. Ah, Quilsley. Having trouble settling in? Not too bad. I can't wait for a change to sleep, though. Proper navigator never rests until their work is done. Of course, of course. I take it you had no issues settling in? Not at all. The crew are a funny lot. Old Kurt certainly caught their attention. Huh. Do you think any of them would mistake Kurt and myself? I think you'd collapse from joy if they did. Perhaps. Gotta get more crew. Pumps. Ooh, hooded sailor. You spot a suspicious-looking sailor emerge from the pantry. The hooded sailor spots you, keeping their hands firmly in their pockets. Not what it looks like, Officer Shaw. But call me Gnomes. I'm not thieving anything. You best have a good explanation, then. I have a perfectly good explanation. No worries, I was just setting up a practical joke. You best not be making a mockery of the crew. Wait, what is this practical joke? Not going to spoil the surprise. It's not at your expense if that's your concern. Have to get some enjoyment around here, don't you think? With their mysterious trap set, Gnome scurries off to the upper decks to return to work. He seems very sus. Ah, you must be Shaw. Seems you met my brother already. You're in Stoke, but nobody calls me that. On the ship, I'm known as Junior. Junior? Why the name? Should be obvious, you've met my brother. It's the burden that comes with being the younger. Hey, Shaw, can you grab some tins from the pantry? It's nearly time for dinner. The moment you enter the pantry, a bag of flour drops in your head, scattering all over your officer's uniform. The hell's what's that? Gnomes! You wipe the flour off you before continuing. You lift a crate of tins from the shelves. Crew need fed for the week. So, in subsequent weeks, we can use assign people to get more tin cans. I don't know why it takes them so long to pull the tin cans off the shelves, but this will give us 20 food. I know, get practical joke. Beans! It's what's for dinner. Now let's get all our stuff on the, Send me up there, I'll get you a reading. The scientist eyes the man's cane and turns to you. I believe the navigator means you to send one of his scouts. The navigator clears his throat and taps his cane. Of course. If you find one of mine, they'll get us a reading rightly. While examining the rigging of the ship, your eyes notice a figure darting by, climbing on the ropes with ease. The figure lands on their feet before dusting themselves off. The outfit denotes one of Kurt's scouting crew. Ah, no problems. She looks to you. And you are? Officer Shaw, yourself? Flick, I'm one of Kurt's crew. Yeah, lots of beans. Nothing but beans. Don't worry about my safety. I know what I'm doing, trust me. Kurt doesn't just hire anyone. Well, he didn't hire me for no reason. Got the medals in gymnastics if you're worried about my credentials. Flick jumps up and returns to scaling the rigging of the ship. Well, since you're already up there, you might as well. They ascend to the nest and take a reading with the sextant. All clear from up top! Okay, come on. Scroll back a little more. Orca Island. The last port you made where you picked up Kurt and the scouting team from. The Viscount Island. The last known location of the Viscount. Your destination. And here we are, having to make our way through the ice. Yeah, now we have a map. I guess it's one of those more kind of eccentric kind of things where they decide to take up scouting afterwards. Dinner time! The crew have their meal. Ah, shall we toast to the ice? Aye! Hey, Paige, thank you for the sub. The days get longer, but dinner is fixed. It will see us through the long days and the darkest nights. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Can't help but notice, but it's still bright light outside. You notice two sailors passing by from the dinner table. An inebriated sailor on wobbling legs, leaning on the shoulder of another. Ah, good times, good times. Need to learn to handle your drink, Tucker. But I'm fine. I'm fine. My mates can carry me, eh, Cavity? Can also drop you. Have 2 tons carry you next time. Are you asleep? Shit. Ooh, a door. I knock on the door. No response. We're not sunk yet. You overhear 2 engineers chatting above deck. Or rather, you overhear one engineer speaking with another. Don't know how the chief could stay down there all evening. You ever see Mr. Hammond eat? I haven't. Maybe he doesn't even eat. Man's not human if he can work all day and night on that boiler. Probably doesn't sleep either. He probably sleeps. Aye, Dick, it's figurative. Right. Dogs. The dogs regard her with rapt attention as she paces between them, bowl in hand. The largest joins her side as you approach. Try some. You nearly burn your mouth on the hot broth. That's surprisingly palatable. You feel yourself warming up. I don't think we have the option to pet the dogs just yet. You seem to enjoy it. I'm afraid there's only so much. If you want more, it will be among the dog's leftovers. Penguin, some blubber, fats and proteins. Fastest way to hydrate them. Was there something you needed? Where did they come from? It's hard to tell the exact breeds at this point. They belong here more than we do. And like us, they need the ice. It cools them through their paws as they run. They'd overheat otherwise. You've been on the ice for a long time. A long time, yes. And who's that beside you? This one is Stanberry. Bark. Bark. Hey, welcome, Glassy. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. A strong animal. Very. They handle stress differently. Adapt quickly. There's plenty to be learned from them. You love these animals. They need me. And you'll need them. Pet Stanberry! Finally! You ruffle its head. It tries to lick the broth from your fingers. The petting has been done. Okay, week 3. Oh, we don't even have enough, I'll have to do that. That's right, because I don't think it lets you go into the boiler room until week 3 to get more coal. And I think that's why. But as the week passes, the Temperance has finally entered the thick ice leads. The days grow ever brighter. Well, I guess this time it's time for everyone to freeze. 3 weeks on the Temperance. More crew. Oh, that's right, yeah. I think I have to first take requests each week before I can do things. Oh, it's getting worse. Oh my goodness. It's kind of cool how we're just cutting a path through the ice with it cracking and breaking. Okay, let's check our map. So yeah, we're making a way through there. See, I can't help but feel it might have been wiser to go around this instead of trying to go through the ice, even if we're able to break it apart. Oh, that's week 2 and week 1. Oh, I guess that's why. Maybe we saw that there was like a path through there, and we tried to go through it. Yeah. Okay, you have a great day, Faro. Or a great night in this case. And thanks for stopping by. Captain Hunt appears to be absent. His chair is unoccupied. The whole room shudders. Oh no, it's already over. Examine the problem. What the? Well, I was worried about this. Look at that ice. We could be trapped for a while. Strong pressures, as if we didn't have enough bother. Well, no need mucking about. Let's get to work. Where's Hunt? I'll grab him. I'm sure he felt it too. Shaw, check the boiler room. I'm sure the mole man has problems of his own. Not to worry, everyone. We'll be free and move it again before you know it. Back to work. Officer Shaw, what happened? Ship's come to a stop. I almost flung my camera into the wall. We didn't hit anything, did we? We're trapped in some ice. We'll need to break loose to get moving again. Well, let's hope we can do that sooner rather than later. Trapped in the ice, though. That would make for a good photograph. Damn it, woman, this isn't the time for photos! We're doomed! Doomed! Ship stuck, then. If you're looking for Hunt, you just missed him. Have you checked the boiler room? Not yet. Hammond's probably pissed off, I imagine. I'm gonna check with my brother. Aha! Sack of coals! Aye. If I'd made Ares any, I'd tell you. It's secured, don't you worry. They notice you. Impressive machine, this boiler. Aye, she'll keep us steady, no doubt. Be grateful we have it. I'm ensuring that the boiler was not damaged in the sudden commotion. And I told you if she was, you'd already know. I'm not in the business of making mistakes. I know that if this furnace goes, we go down with it. Yes, but you're only one man, with a pair of engineers as assistants. Yeah. Just looking at the number of valves, this seems far too much for you to handle. Maybe your bloody benefactor should have considered that. I've gotten used to it by now. It will hold, trust me. I will. Well, I will have to, won't I? I don't fancy staying on the ship any longer than necessary. It's imperative we break free from the ice as quick as possible. Hammond eyes you, a grimace on his face. First mate's here, but where's the one that got us into this bloody mess? I was hoping that Templeton knew. I was informed by one of the Stokes that I had just missed him, but I have a suspicion as to where he may be now. We're on a ship, an unmoving one at that. The man cannot simply disappear. If he's anywhere, he must be in his cabin. When you find the man, give him an earful on my behalf. Can't do it myself, too busy keeping us alive. Templeton gives a nod. I believe you and I owe our good captain a visit, Shaw. But you should call the crew for dinner first. Routine is important, even especially now. Not before we've fed this furnace. Mind grabbing some coal from the bunker, Shaw? Or are you afraid to get your dirty hands like Mr. Or are you afraid of dirty hands like Mr. Templeton over here? She needs fuel for the week. There we go. I'm not sure I can actually assign crew yet. Maybe it's next week that you get to assign crew. You emerged mid-deck to find the crew readying themselves for dinner despite the ice. Some seem nervous, others as if nothing has changed at all. Yeah. Have you tried turning up the thermostat? What'll it be this week, Shaw? Beans! Wonder if there's anyone we can actually talk to up there. Nah, we... So yeah, I guess we gotta call them to dinner. The crew had their meal. The dinner is shared. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. You can't help but notice that it's still bright light outside. You didn't see him either? He didn't pass by, but his cabin door was locked when I checked. Slippery bastard. What are you thinking, Hunt? I might be week 4 that I can actually assign people. No sign of Hunt, I take it. Mr. Templeton passed by too, but he wasn't exactly willing to take questions. Keep it up, lads. We'll set ourselves right in no time. Ah, Shaw. I just saw Templeton enter in the captain's cabin. Seems Hunt's holed himself up inside. Maybe if you had a word with our good captain, he'd be willing to lend a hand. Hunt, what? You're right there. I was informed that he was here. He's not like Stealth 100 Templeton, he's like right there. Where could he have hidden himself? He has to be in here. Check under his desk, or maybe the tub. I highly doubt that he's cowering beneath the table, Shaw. Arr! The captain's laugh rings out from behind the door. Templeton's perception, -10. The captain watches you both, his head swaying as he chuckles to himself. You're a surprisingly difficult man to get a hold of, Hunt. Seeing that this is your ship. Ha! I know it well. Hunt's eyes turn to you. I believe you two are already acquainted. How long have you been drinking? I don't suppose you care to join? Hunt shakes his hip flask as he holds it out, whiskey sloshing and spilling from the top. And what of you, Shaw? I can't tempt you with some sweet nectar? Ah, alright then. Huh. He hands you the flask. What shall we toast to? Getting paid, low wages. Adventure, wherever that may lead. I'll drink to that. Don't humor this, Shaw. The liquid warms you, spread into your fingertips. Now we're both drunk. You hand back the flask. You intend to offer drinks at a time like this. This ship Your ship is trapped in the ice. It's my ship now, is it? And what do you expect me to do? Get the shovels out? Let's see. What do you mean this isn't your ship? Bought it out at an auction. Not by myself. Imagine that, captain of a private vessel, and I don't even own it. Pathetic. Mr. Hunt. Captain. If you are not fit to stand, then you should retire for the night. Shaw will stand in your stead, and we can continue in the morning. And abandon my duty? No captain who would do that is a fit captain, wouldn't you agree? Well... Not you. Shaw, isn't it right? Yeah, just offer the ice a drink and then it'll, What do you think makes for a good leader? Sobriety for that start, so that rules us both out. Let's see. Probably making the difficult choices. Choices nobody else wants to make. Do you think you could live with yourself? They all act like the choice is the difficult part. The choice is easy, Shaw. Instinctual. It's not being able to sleep after. That's what they never prepare you for. But I'm serious, Shaw. To you, what makes a good leader? We don't have the time for... In a word, then. What makes a leader? Understanding. I understand when the release date for Silksong is. Explain. Ooh. The ability to adapt. Good captain. The ability to adapt to your crew, to understand the individual needs that make up the whole. And if those needs conflict, it's all well and good to think you could bend and twist and please everyone. Do you think you could balance that? Scorn a man one day and appease him the next. Do you think that balances out? I mean, if the numbers, exceed the loss, then sure, Hunt. Which is he more likely to remember? Speaking in platitudes will do you no good. A good leader is something more than a single rule you were told to follow. When you see one, you just know. You have wasted enough time pining philosophical. Oh, my apologies. I'll ask the real questions. Shaw, look at where we are. Do you honestly think we're going to survive this? I don't know. I'll be, uncertain. I don't know. I expected as much. The captain laughs. Shaw, nobody knows we're out here. That doesn't leave this room. No, wouldn't want to upset your employer. Our benefactor. We all want to be paid after this, don't we? Enough! If you weren't fit to lead this expedition, you should not have agreed to it. You shouldn't be. None of us should be here. Old Kurt Pete handsomely to join. You're just a botanist sent to keep an eye on me. Our doctor, and then there's me. And myself? You're the only one who should be here. You're the player, damn it. Templeton opens the door. The captain needs his rest. We'll discuss this once he's of sound mind. Let him speak, Templeton. I wish to know more. Drop the lore bombs on me, Hunt. It's all right, Robin. Go on now, Shaw. I'll be all right here. The captain appears to have fallen asleep. Captain Hunt needs his sleep. It would appear the pressures of command have greatly affected him. You should find some rest yourself. The crew have their commands. Clear ahead, and we will continue on the morn. Ooh, can I pet the dogs? Yes, I can pet the dogs! You ruffle its fur. You rub its belly. You stroke its head. All the dogs. One would think Hunt would be taking action at a time like this. Instead, the man has squirreled himself away within his office. An odd one. I don't think we get names other than Stanberry, but then again, I didn't play long enough to, find out. That's right, I can't actually get more... I can't get more stuff right now. You awake to a room awash with green. There is a loud banging on your door, and a familiar voice speaks from behind the wood. Shaw, are you in there? Shaw! See, everyone gets to shout Shaw. Hammond, what's going on? Why is everything green? Never mind the green. The boiler's in serious trouble. Pumps need manned, and we need to stop the whole system overheating. And I don't need to tell you that if the furnace goes, we go. Lead the way then. We don't have a moment to spare. Oh, maybe we do get a dog. Right, let's move. We need to find the captain, now. Crasher rushes up, holding her camera tight as the ship rumbles. What's happening? Are we going under? Not if we can help it. Out of the way! It's safe to go up top, right? That Aurora, it's a shot I can't miss. Crasher steps back before snapping a photograph of the ensuing chaos. Oh, it's getting worse. The lights of the Aurora flicker over the pale ice. Nothing. Visibly perturbed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Even the tub is empty. Why would you expect him to be in the tub? Not important. That doesn't make sense. The man seemed barely fit to crawl himself into bed earlier. What? Hammond turns to you. Alright, Shaw. Captain's missing, you're in charge. We can't give up on Hunt that easily. I bloody well can. He missed a chance to take the reins. Yes, indeed. The crew are no doubt waking at this moment. They're no doubt scared, confused. It's your duty to keep them calm, to maintain order. Hammond glares at Templeton. It's Shaw's job to get down to the boiler room, now! We've already wasted enough time looking for that bastard Hunt. If you storm down to that room, all you'll get is incitement and panic. We need to calm the fears of the crew, maintain an air of focus. Lie to them as the ship goes down? Not at all. Instead, to assure them that we know how to remedy this matter. You do know how to remedy this matter, Mr. Hammond. Aye. And we need to be quick. I don't have time to worry about some stupid sailor's feelings. We've got a bloody ship to save. Well, it's as you said. Officer Shaw is in charge. The decision is yours. Alright, tough decisions. Yeah. I think last time I tried Templeton's one. So I want to try Hammond's this time. Hammond is right. We can't waste any more time. The boiler won't waste for us. Fine. I will keep the crew at bay then. Come on. Don't worry about them. Let's go. As more of the crew notice you and Hammond descending below, the whispers begin. Ah, okay, so this one gives a big decorum loss. Soon the crew pick up the pace, walking directionless with hurried footsteps. Kurt approaches. Boiler trouble, I take it? I'll lend a hand. Not where you're walking with that cane, you're not. I have enough strength to... Go tell the crew to hit the lower decks, as many as possible. Let's go, Shaw. Time to save this blasted ship. You descend the ladder. Ahead you can see the brothers trying to open the door to the hold. Trying to get in? Same. Door stuck. Pull harder, you bastards. We need to get in there. It's the only thing that matters now. The metal door unsticks. Grimley looks to you before darting off into the dark. Where's that bloody idiot running off to? To sound the alarm. Bloody hells. Let's get moving! You enter the boiler room. As you enter, Hammond's engineering team are hard at work. The larger of the two engineers lose a grip of their valve as steam begins to shoot out, causing Hammond to dash forward. Watch it! Hammond tackles the engineer to the ground, saving him from a nasty steam burn. Made it just in time! What's the word, Chief? Keep those valves pumping. We need to avoid a water hammer, or we won't be making it off the ship. Sure. The rest of the crew aren't here. Grab a valve and start turning. You grab a valve and begin turning, trying with all you can to keep the water at bay. Pump! You feel the ache in your muscles as you continue to push the valve, keeping the pressure at bay. Uh-oh. The furnace rumbles and sputters, hemorrhaging fuel. You keep turning, doing the best you can to keep the pressure at bay. We could be at this for hours! Shit! Where's the rest of the crew? Help. The furnace rumbles and sputters. Get me coal and turn those valves! And now I can assign people. Now I can get more. More coal. They get to work. He always has the accordion. That's the best part. Feed the furnace. Okay, who do I assign? They grab the valve. Oh, I get another person that grabbed the valve. They grab the valve. With enough hands working on the boiler, you begin to fight back the potential water hammer. Oh, you have a great night, Dina. Oh, good. Good luck with your midterms. Someone's going to have to hold the furnace in place. Gnomes approaches the furnace. The room shakes. Water hammer! A jet of steam paints Plek. As it subsides, as they writhe in agony, it will become invalid and unable to work. You keep up the work, shifting the valves until the boiler has fully calmed. The ship is saved. You won't be sinking today. As the crew gives assistance to the wounded Plek, you feel your muscles tense. You fall back, collapsing from exhaustion. As you lay back, all you can hear are a pair of panicked voices. Where the hell is Captain Hunt? He's gone. Oh no, I can't even get the food rations. Alright, people are gonna be starving. So yeah, I remember if you go with the Templeton for that, then the engineer gets injured, and Hammond doesn't knock him out of the way in time. But I don't think you get as big of a decorum loss. So you end up with 2 wounded instead of 1. Let's see, I'm gonna have to do that. Temperance is saved from sinking. The Aurora passes, leaving only the bright light in white. Yes, he plays the accordion no matter what you do. 1 week at Temperance Camp. You're alone in the captain's cabin. Out across deck can be heard the commotion of the crew. Word has spread quickly that Captain Hunt is missing. Templeton slips in through the door. Shaw. What is it, Templeton? Hunt is still missing. And he isn't alone in that regard. Sanders, Sparrow, and Gren are also unaccounted for. No. Yeah, Hunt's just like, I'm gonna go on this mission myself. Smaller crew. And a sizable, as is a sizable food and fuel supply, and one of the larger lifeboats. Shaw, you and I are not naive. It seems quite clear what has happened here. Yes, but why would Hunt abandon us? That is a question I cannot answer. I doubt we'll ever know at this stage. The former captain is no longer with us. You understand what that means, Shaw? I would care for you to enlighten me. A new captain must be selected by the crew. As first mate, you have the most clear argument to take that role. And how do I argue for that role? Your presence in the face of Hunt's absence is an argument in itself. Yeah, Hunt is definitely was not very helpful. They will hold a vote as soon as possible. That carpenter, Grimley, he is still loyal to Hunt, and many of the sailors will follow his vote, if not all. Though I can assure you, you have the vote of myself and my scientists. Kurt and his crew are likely to support you as well. I am unsure where the engineers will side. They're likely loyal to their pay. Black is still recovering from their steam burns, which may end up working to our favor. And the civilians are a mystery. But I believe when all is said and done, you will just about make the vote. You've clearly given this a lot of thought, Templeton. Well, someone has to. Of course. It is vital to remain aware of the crew's intention. They're waiting outside, Shaw. They're scared. They don't know where to turn. You and I both understand the importance of main and decorum. Though the times seem dire, remember, there is a rescue ship on its way. Even if the Temperance falls, we still have a potential escape. 35 weeks. The ship will arrive at Viscount Island in 35 weeks from now. We should focus on surviving that long. That is all we need to do, Captain. Hey, how can we be certain the rescue ship won't meet the same fate? Ah, yeah, Hammond definitely... Well, Hammond's, like, pissed at everyone. How can we be certain that rescue ship will come? I can assure it. Our benefactor will ensure it. Another 35 weeks, Captain. Keep it in mind. Here, you should have this. Templeton presents you with a fancy-looking hat. Hunt's hat. Oh yeah, that's gonna definitely endear me to Grimley and everyone else. Hey guys, I'm coming out here with Hunt's things. I've got like his captain's coat, captain's hat. Yeah, we're definitely dapper now. Here, my hat. I killed Hunt for this hat. He left it behind in his cabin. That tells us what we need, doesn't it? The hat is mine. The commotion outside grows. I choose to willfully observe reality. I suggest you do the same, Captain. The scientist refrains for a moment. What is it? I think it's best we declare that the captain and the missing crew are dead. There's no need for us to complicate things any further. I won't lie to them, Templeton. I may be a criminal, but lying to my crew that I'm captain of, that's where I draw the line. Leaders lie. Get used to it. Hey, then what have you been lying to me about, Templeton? Get out there. The crew are waiting for you on deck. The last place you saw Captain Hunt. There's still drops of whiskey. Frozen. Hey, at least I got a bedroom upgrade. Hunt's ledger is gone. Address the crew. The hushed voices become more distinct as you make your way back out into the open air. You notice the absence of Plek. The crew members notice you and stop. Their intention ripples across the deck. Attention! It should be clear by now that Captain Hunt is no longer serving his post. As such, we should vote in the new captain. I nominate Officer Shaw for the role. The clear choice as first mate. And what of Hunt? I do not see him among us. Do you? Don't see a body, either. He's still out there. We don't know what happened. Something we can discover. For now, someone has to take the reins of command. All in favor of Officer Shaw? Oh no. Haha! Alright. No, no. Everyone's like... Curses. Aha! Win by 1 vote! Photograph their loss, Kasha! I am Captain. Criminal. Criminal Captain! You have been confirmed as the captain of the expedition. Well, the ayes have it. Shaw shall be acting captain from this point forward. Acting in Captain Hunt's stead. Crowd look at you expectantly as Templeton gives you a knowing nod. A moment passes in the cold as they await your next words. Curious murmurings scattering between the crew. Yeah, I've got the captain's head. Deal with it. To those who don't know me, I'm Robin Shaw. As they look to you, it's not long before the obvious question spills from a crew member's mouth. Where's Captain Hunt? Captain Hunt abandoned us. You notice Templeton's eyes widen. Whispers begin to roll throughout the crowd. He appears to have left this expedition along with 3 missing crew and 1 of our lifeboats. Take that, Templeton. Your monocle will fall. Actually, he should have a monocle so they could fall off at this moment. A silence hangs in the air. As long as we keep our wits, there's no reason we can't survive this. The crowd begins to bubble up once more, with more and more questions coming to the surface. Members of the crew start speaking out one by one, with questions thrown your way in quick succession. How are we supposed to survive out here? Is help coming? What about our pay? Will we still be paid? We'll have to rely on each other out here. We can't afford to stand at each other's throats. Divided we are weak, but strong together we are stronger than the elements. I know that this isn't what we signed up for. But stick with me, and I will see us through the Pale Beyond. Title drop, credits roll, theme music plays. What of those lost, Captain? A memorial service will be held once the ship is freed from the ice. I know, we're definitely having no... And anyone who says anything against me will be whipped. Understood. Well, you heard the captain. Get to it. The crowd dissipates, returning to their roles aboard the ship. You pass Templeton. He glares at you. I told you, I won't lie to them. If we can't be honest with each other, what chance do we have? I hope you're right. He looks up at your new hat. Suits you. Yeah, we can't fail the dogs. Shaw! Or should I say, Captain Shaw. That Hunt. He didn't seem the type to just leave his crew behind. Still no good dwelling. I have confidence you'll take up the mantle well. Do you have any experience leading expeditions? I've never captained a vessel, if that's what you mean. Hey, yeah, you gotta respect the hat. Oh, thank you, welcome, Brian. But the navigator has just as much responsibility to lead. In that sense, I have plenty. Aha, pet dogs! You rub its chin. You scratch its head. It offers you its paw. I suppose congratulations are in order. I'd hope you're prepared for the task at hand, Captain Shaw. Don't worry, I understand the responsibility. That's why the cops are after us. Criminal captain background. You are confident, but we will see. None really understand responsibility until we are handed it. It's time to settle into my new captain's place. There should be no hesitation, Shaw. You are captain now, and you must carry that authority instantly. It's best that we carry out the daily routine as normal. Show that you are capable in the role. We should take the day's requests immediately before seeing to our resources. Here. You saw the duties of the captain firsthand, will serve and hunt. You're acting captain now. It's time you take up that mantle. A line is already forming at the door. No surprise, given the circumstances. Here. One second. Yeah, that was definitely the marker for hydration. Take them as you may, Captain. Alright. Captain, I brought the Kennel Master with me. This is something you will both want to hear. I have a strong suspicion on what this matter is. I was planning to speak with the Captain on it myself. Fortunate happenstance, then. Captain, I know these conditions well. I've seen them before. Any idea of the Temperance being freed of the ice anytime soon is a pipe dream. We need to press on. We need to become aware of our new environment. Trust me, Captain. We will be living off it for quite some time. And what of you, Cordell? Do you agree? Indeed. So yeah, now we have to balance people's loyalty. So a lot of dialogue options will boost or diminish loyalty, which I think will affect votes. And I suspect that if we fail a vote, we get a game over. The dog sleds will be needed to exercise regularly. I think Templeton is more just kind of jumping in to help, also because he's the person tied to our benefactor. So if anything, he has more reason to kind of assist us. Yeah, I think he's like acting as a secretary more than first mate, since he's the science officer. And there is no better way than to engage in hunting. We're quite lucky despite the circumstances. Now is the peak time for hunting and navigation. And navigation? Traversing the ice may be a possibility in the future. We need to be prepared for that. If we're to survive out here, we need to know what lies ahead. These are uncharted territories, Captain. We have no idea where we are. Your current rations are not set to last forever, either. Send any hunting party to me as you please. My dogs and I will ensure their survival. Cordell exits. The same sentiment for myself and any scouting teams. If you wish the great unknowns to be braved and charted, I'm your man. We need to know what lies ahead. Keep looking forward. Saving that boiler was only the start of our troubles. Have you seen the state of this bloody ship? It certainly has seen better days. She's bleeding in the lower decks. I believe the older stoke is attempting to rectify that. We need to stockpile as much fuel as we can. If the furnace runs out by the end of the week, we die. If we spend too long on the ship, we die. If we don't stockpile enough fuel for the winter, we die. Aye. Get me some coal. Get it in the furnace. I'm afraid he's not wrong. That coal bunker is our only source of fuel for the time being. Until we can procure alternatives, we should assign crew to shoveling whenever possible. And so at this point, this is where we need to start assigning multiple crew to get tins and coal so that we have extras. Because as I think he mentioned, we don't get to stay on the ship forever. Especially since the rescue ship's going to the Viscount. Shaw! The ice looks unbudging, doesn't it? It would seem that way, yes. Crew seems to think so. They think if we don't intervene, the Temperance will never get freed. If you're suggesting breaking the ice, I can assure you that won't work. I'm not. They are. No intervention is going to break up the ice enough to free this ship. Putting others to work on that is simply a waste of manpower. Maybe. They're scared, though. Worried. They just want to feel like they've tried something. I think I'm gonna try and assign some folks. Oh, we gotta do 3 to 5. Oh, I can assign engineers to it. Assign the scientists. Ah, okay. Yeah, there we go. The scientists are assigned to it. Let's see, because I think I need like 3 people for the tins and 3 people for the coal, so I don't want to use too many people otherwise. Because I'm going to need to send out the scouts with the dogs to actually mark the place. Yeah, get to it, nerds. I don't know. Maybe I should keep the scientists on board and then send the sailors out. Oh, it shows their loyalty. Who they're loyal to. So yeah, we'll send out 3 people. If it will raise spirits, it's worth the attempt. Oh, I lost his loyalty. But we got some decorum. I'll see you for dinner, Captain. Don't forget the pushpot needs fed. I think Templeton's more like you gotta make the pragmatic choices to keep his loyalty. Before dinner, you should be sending out our first sledding team. I also believe it's time you gave our good doctor a visit. We'll still have... Oh, we still have wounded from the night of the Aurora. Their wounds will be needed to attend to before they're fit to work. And I doubt I need to remind you of this, but we need every hand available. Don't be afraid of signing my team for some manual labor. They'll complain, but they'll work. Let's see the map. So yeah, that's also with the dogs that we can send people out to scout. And then there's the island. It's interesting to see how it changes over it. Oh, that's right. We don't have to do that. We can do it to the Can't believe Hunt is gone. What happened? Who knows? He was drunk. Whatever he was thinking, he definitely wasn't in the right mind. And what about Smurf and Corvid and Joe? Who knows? Corvid owes me 5 gilts. I don't think he'll be seeing it soon. You did seem familiar. I finally placed you. You have you? Yes, I remember seeing you compete. Soaring Killiper. You were quite the gymnast. I'm surprised to see you in this line of work. Not too many gymnasts carry long careers. You did quite well when I saw you at the Summer Games. I recall you placed. I don't recall winning. Pet. You nod knowingly at it. You bark back at it. Woof. You pat its back. Okay, so we should probably get some scouting done. So it takes 1 scout, and that uses up 3 dogs. But the further we get away, it takes more dogs to do things. But if it opens up more stuff... Like in this case, research a pressure ridge. And that would take 5 dogs. So that opens up things for hunting, which we'll eventually need for food, I think. At this point, that's all I can do. Why? It's a friendly bark. She. You, Robin Shaw. No! Surprised to see you in this position. Hey, what's that? You're not alone. I'm as shocked as you are. I know what you've gotten up to in your time. I don't know what I've gotten up into my time. Just keep your nose clean, Shaw. Good luck, Captain. Let's see, doctor's office. You enter the ship's infirmary. Your presence seems to startle the young man inside. The rattle of dropped forceps ringing throughout the room. It's not offensive barking. It's friendly barking. Oh, goodness, it's you. Captain now, isn't it? Captain Robin Shaw. It's good to meet you. Dr. Arthur, Nutley. Dr. Nutley. Dr. Arthur Nutley. That's it. It's good to meet you, Arthur. Nutley gives a weak smile. Thank you. It is good to properly meet you. I suppose I seem a little scatterbrained at the moment. It isn't the norm. Recent circumstances have been trying. And the inclination towards seasickness is no help. We're not even moving now. Plek. Steam burn they suffered from the furnace are severe. If you let me take a look, I can do my best to alleviate their pain. They'll pull through. This crew's a tough one. Right, well, let us hope so. At this point, all we can do is wait. He lets out a nervous cough. Captain Hunt, do you think he might still be out there? There's a chance, however slim. Right. Perhaps we'll run into him again. No, that's ridiculous. Never mind. Apologies, I'm rambling. Suppose you wanted an update on the crew? Have you had time to look at them? Time enough. Yeah, I don't know how he's seasick now. Mostly scrapes and scuffs. As for the dogs, you're better asking... well... the kennel master. Oh, you mean Cordell? Yes, Cordell. I haven't taken well to the dogs. I'm unsure how to carry myself amidst most people, and animals are more quick to judge. And Cordell herself is harsher still. But you can rely on me for any human medical issues. Nutley pauses for a moment. Is everything, good? I mean, is someone coming to rescue us? I won't lie, we're in a difficult situation here. I'm gonna need your help. Haha, loyalty! Then you can count on my help. Nutley keeps his head low. Is there anything I can do for the crew? Okay, medbay. Okay, I can also assign scientists to cook up medical comforts, which can be useful. But we're gonna get Plek command to rest. And when you assign them to the medbay, they will be cured of all status effects by the end of the week. So it looks like that if they have, like, really bad, the tier 2 ones where they'll die at the end of the week if something isn't done, we just gotta put them in the medbay. And hopefully they'll live. Hopefully. Emphasis on hopefully. Alright. We need to get people assigned to this. Oh, I can assign the engineers as well. The scientists will pick up our tin food. Oh, Kier's crew freezing. Okay, the red room. I think that's Kasha's room, actually. But yeah, by doing this, I should be able to get most of my food and heating back. Keep all it, Captain. And that way if I get extras, because it looks like I used 50, it was somewhere between 50 and 60 for a week. So if I'm getting 80, I can slowly stockpile, I guess. Let's make use of this kitchen while we can. Get as much beans going as possible. Officer, Captain Shaw. I suppose I should get used to... Yeah, the 300 hunger was pretty bad. That's why I needed to assign the folks to try and get as many tins. I suppose I should get used to calling you that. Hello, Font. There is very many sussy imposters among us on this ship. It's the captain has abandoned ship. Yeah, they're working very hard pulling tins off the shelves. I was asking the crew if anyone had seen Hunt or any of the other deserters last night. Not a single soul. I know this man knows the ship well, but that seems odd. Suppose you weren't expecting a situation like this as a civilian. People don't tend to sign on to these expeditions for the good of their health. I researched the Pale Passage. I knew there was a risk of this. So there's no use in me worrying about it now. Worrying never did anyone good. But yeah, we won't have enough dogs for doing certain things. So now we know we can hunt there, and that'll get us fish. At least it looks like fish, according to that. I'm not sure if scouting like a direct path is what we need to do. I guess we'll find out on the next week. Call them the dinner! The crew have their meal. Ah, shall we give a toast to our new captain? Hear, hear! The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Despite the time, it's still bright light outside. That's right, we have pretty much all the crew available now, so that's actually good. You're a tall one, aren't you? Oh, thank you for noticing. Been this big since I was 15. You ever consider doing films? You have the stature for it. Oh, I can't act. Acting isn't a part of it. You stand there, cut a nice silhouette, and you'd be a star. That sounds awfully easy, doesn't it? It can be. Wish I could be trapped here for a while. I don't like the ship's chances either. It'll be some time before we see home. Shit, I'm gonna die of boredom out here before the cold takes me. He'll manage, I'm sure. So tired. You'll get used to it, lad. It's far too much work. Thought you wanted the work. If I can do it with one arm, you can do it. You're always saying that, Cribbly, you need me for something? Oh, this is a interesting one. I think no matter what we say, that he's probably going to just be like, loyalty lost. It'll just be like, get out of here. We'll just say we want to learn more about him. So if we wanted to learn more of you, Gremley. Not much to know. Hey, we actually picked right. You have chosen wisely. I'm the carpenter. I'm Junior's brother. I play in music. You know it already. You have chosen wisely, playing to his ego. Evening, Shaw. I'm proud of what I've been able to cook up for the crew lately, considering the rations. Though I do wish I had something better to work with. I'd kill for a good beef steak. You do excellent work, Junior. You have a knack for this. Haha! I've been told. Hunt would say he wouldn't eat a bite that wasn't prepared by me anymore. We're making friends. Maybe I need a social butterfly Hammond. Oh, I can actually talk to him! Bloody cold, isn't it, Captain? Don't know how you spend your time away from the furnace. It would be colder, even colder without your hard work, Hammond. I know. Oh, Captain, you know the right thing to say to me. I know. I got to get their loyalty. I've lost Templeton's. Awfully loud, aren't they? I don't mind it all that much. They work hard all day. They're owed their leisure. The sailors ought to remember, we all need our sleep. Oh, Kurt's room. Evening, Shaw. Cold one, isn't it? I used to think I was growing used to the cold. But as the years have gone on, the elements have only grown harsher on the body. I don't know if saying, you're getting old, is gonna endear myself to him. I'm sure you can handle it, Kurt. Haha! And you'd be right. I gotta play to their egos. Hey, I need to be able to make the votes. Yeah. I gotta do like the Mass Effect thing, 2 thing, the Paragon thing. And you are Kurt Darlin, and you're my favorite person on the Temperance. I can still complain every now and then. I just need to do that for every NPC. Good evening, Captain. It'll be some time before we see rescue. Perhaps you should be endearing yourself to the crew. I know that if you try to get too personal with Templeton, then that actually loses loyalty even more with him. I didn't play too much longer than this, but I know that if you say, I'd like to learn more of you, he's like, back off. I'm gonna ask him more about this. Oh. You'll find that I am invested in our survival. That is tied to how you continue to lead. Templeton's hard, unless you just make, like, pragmatic choices, it seems. I'm gonna piss him off. Yeah. Well, I don't think they catch on in Mass Effect if you say that every store is your favorite place on the Citadel. You tickle it behind the ears. You pat its head. You rub its chin. Captain Shaw, I presume you're here to see the dogs. You aren't with the rest of the crew. Of course I'm not. Do you often expect others to leave their post? I understand you do not expect this role, but you are the captain regardless. Surely you understand a sense of duty. Captain Shaw, you recall my conditions with Hunt, do you not? Like it was yesterday. My demand was that I work here, with the dogs. Your people may help with the sleds, but they are not my responsibility. They are not my people. I am holding up my promise with Hunt. I do not intend to join your crew. The dog decides beside her barks. How long have you been raising dogs? A long time, Shaw. I've raised this pack since they were not but pups, and a generation before them. Well, I think that the loss of the dogs is that they're out there on the week, but it's just kind of like this is like a week's worth of stuff that's happening. So I assume that this is like the end of the week after you call them to dinner or so forth. So the dogs are back at this point, but it's too late to send them out for more scouting or hunting. She goes quiet for a moment, petting Stanberry, collecting her thoughts. I wasn't exactly in the financial position to pass on hunts, but I had no intention of leaving all of them out here without me. If I get lost in the ice, you're the next captain, Stanberry. Whoop! Cordell smiles, confused. Stanberry is my new first mate. And that is week 4. Okay, so now looking at this. So it's 50... Yeah, because we have 25 people, since we lost 4. That's why it was 58 that 1 week. Okay, so if we go down there, a crew member will become malnourished, and then... Okay, and then 1 crew member will be cured of malnourished, so... Bad stuff if that happens. A crew member will develop freezing. Okay, so if we do extras, then that increases decorum. And it'll also cure more people of things like malnourishment. But if we have to start cutting rations, then it'll start developing malnourishment. Or freezing. Let's do this. And we have a plaque that should be healed up. Gnomes was cured of their wounds. Another week on the ice, the ship holds. Barely. The dogs are rested and available to be sent out. 2 weeks at Temperance camp. Plus 12 dogs. What I'll probably do is I'll do 1 more week and then stop for today, as admittedly I'm going to try and get a little rest earlier. So either 1 week or maybe another 2, because the game's kind of weird. It saves at the start of every week. There's lots of people here to see me. Shaw, Templeton, word back from the attempts at freezing the ship. Is such a report necessary? Well, as you can see, we're not moving. Crew kept at it for a week, but now we're calling it a day. Waste of time and resources then, as expected. I wouldn't be so sure. End of the day, at least now the crew can say they tried, gave it their all. Hey, we got decorum out of that. There's something in that. Good day, Captain. Well, as good as can be under the circumstances. Good day to you as well, Kasha. He stares into your soul. Just loyalty by greeting people. Well, I'll be sure to spare you any more obligatory small talk from here. In truth, there's something I've been meaning to ask of you. It's a matter I brought up with Captain Hunt, though he was less receptive. I'm not merely interested in the story of this expedition. I'm interested in the story of the people on this expedition. When the crew have the downtime, I would request that I be allowed to conduct interviews with them. I would like to know more about them. Maybe learn more about what happened to Hunt? Okay, let's see. I see no issue there. Conduct an interview as you please. Yes, he needs our hat. Thank you, Captain. You won't regret it. Well, she's definitely loyal. I'll mark anything useful I discover in the crew manifest. Send them to the Red Room on the lower deck when you can. Word around the crew is that we might end up having to move to the ice. If we can't free the Temperance anyway. We'll be wise to gather what we can to take off ship with us if we do. Indeed, we'll need to prepare for what could be the inevitable. Aye, most of the tools in the lower deck storerooms. The metal doors need some work to open, but it's worth what's inside. Captain Shaw, Mr. Templeton. It would appear that some of the crew have taken an interest in the transmission radios we have on hand. It is likely many of their first time seeing this technology, and they have odd ideas of what they're capable of. They believe another ship may pick us up if we monitor them. Ridiculous. They do not have the range to pick up another, not out here. Yeah, that'll probably be the case. She's gonna save us with the power of photography. I said as much, but Mr. Turner was adamant we spend the night monitoring them regardless. He even sent me to run the concept by you, Captain. See, I did this on the last one. It'll definitely... I think we lose decorum if we, because of the crew just being like, well, we didn't make the attempt. We're gonna try it, though. It's worth the attempt, even if it's just to assure the crew. Oh, we're getting more loyalty with the crew. Yes, Captain. It won't work, but at least that way the crew will be certain. Okay, demoralization status will let you lose 5 decorum at the end of the week. Kasha can cure it by interviewing. And she'll be like, give me some pose! Yes, otherwise they will ponder the alternative until we're all frozen. I just like the idea where Kasha's like, tell me about your backstory. Give me some pose. The question persists as to how long the Temperance can hold. Will we be able to wait out the ice? If there's no change by next week, abandoning the ship may be considered. Ah, feel that air. Nothing better than a cold wind to keep you awake. You're not Doc York the Third. How many hours of sleep do you get a night? Well, on second thought, better not hearing that. He's our assistant, Mish. I already know that it isn't enough. Sorry about that. Cough and fit, grabbed a cough drop. Hopefully it helps. Okay. Okay, so that then takes me... How many do I lose? 5? Oh, I see. Okay, so that shows more hunting spots. Let's see. HC, thank you for the sub. So since we've already gone that way as much as possible, let's try and explore as much there. Observe the effects of the summer melt, which would be research. Okay, 1 to 3, and we'd need scientists for that. They're busy being demoralized. Okay, there we go. I do apologize, I'm having just a spot of cough and fit problems. So I'm trying to, like, hydrate and all that, and just be, all good. Yeah, we gotta have decorum. Because if decorum hits 0, we, get a game over. Is there anything I can do for the crew? Actually, no one's injured this week. Okay, so... let's actually get everything... let's get people assigned to all these things. Okay, so that gets me 4 more tins. And that pretty much gets that entirely full. With an extra tin. Okay, you have a great night time. Okay, and then I have to assign people to actually enter the holds for these extra things. But I want to make sure I get as much coal and everything as possible. But it looks like I have 4 people extra, so I can get into most of those rooms, I think. Coal goes in, we stay alive. It really is that simple. And there we are, we're actually looking pretty good. Okay, science hold, engineers hold, tools hold, food hold, weapons hold. I can open 4 of them. You and Cavity charge into the room. Inside you see supplies of tinned lemons, a hunting shotgun, a bolt-action rifle, and some flares. With the water flooding in from you behind, you have time to grab 2 items. Ooh. Let's see. Get some flares. Bright light and heat without an explosion for alerting humans and alarming wildlife. Can be carefully disassembled for fuel. An old-fashioned double-barrel buckshot rifle. Slow and cumbersome to load. I think I'm going to take the shotgun and the flares. Because I think we could probably get more actual food from the food hold. Enough time to grab one more item. And ample ammunition. The room is flooded, rendering the rest of the items useless. Dagnabbit. Okay, try the science hold. You and Tucker charge in the room. The wooden floors and furniture are buckled enough to take apart easily. You'll spot crates labeled as spare flags and luxury items. Water flooding in from behind you. Have time to grab 1. Oh no. The luxury items! Okay, inspect the timber. Much as the room has been buckled by the ice, allowing it to be easily stripped from timber. Worth a total of 102 fuel. Flags from the Temperance are folded neatly inside. You also find a chessboard. Oh, in total they will provide a plus 20 maximum decorum. Oh my goodness, so a lot of extra fuel or maximum decorum. That's actually a tough choice. Like, I think I'm good on fuel for now. I'm gonna take the chessboard, damn it. Plus 1. And a football! We got football! Room is flooded, rendering the rest of the items useless. Let's see. I think I'll try and save the food hold for next week, because I don't think I'm going to have enough people to open all 5 doors. You and 2 Johns charge into the room. It's full of various tools and a crate of tinned lemons. What is with the tinned lemons, damn it? With the water flooded in, you have time to grab 2 items. Oh, inspect the medical tools. That might actually be good. The doctor should be able to see more than 1 patient at a time with these. That's actually looks to be really good. Okay, these should make quick work against pressure ridges and thick snow when hunting and scouting. Inspect the engineering tools. The furnace may be better maintained and improve its efficiency. Oh, look at the tin lemons. 4 supplies of tin lemons. Each of them can cure a person of scurvy. See, I think that we can use the medical tools. Sound like a really good one. Upgraded to +1 doctor slot. There's enough time to grab 1 more item. I'm debating between engineering tools and digging tools. Because this sounds like it's better for hunting, and it looks like we're going to be ending up on the ice. Whereas I'm not sure if furnace efficiency is going to be necessary. Engineering, I think I'm going to try digging, because I'm curious as to what exactly. I'm very curious as to how much that's going to affect things. I'm sorry. See, because we're going to be in the engineer's hold. Maybe there's more engineer's tools in here. You and Tashi charge in the room. It's full of specialist tools and equipment. Water flooded in from behind. You have time to grab 2 items. See, that's why I thought it was. Engineering hold. See, engineering tools right there. What's the Apperton crates? Treated and sealed to keep shipments of peaches fresh. Inspect the ale. 3 kegs of ale. Get him drunk so they got their morale back. See, I'm gonna take the engineering tools now. Ooh, maximum fuel increase. Okay, and then plus 20 fuel. So maybe they stacked. I'm wondering what the crates do. Because I wonder if the peaches are just something for better food or... I mean, Kegpire would be nice, but I feel like that if we've got Tasha there to cure demoralization, then that's all good. Oh, max feud increased to 120, so that's what it does. Okay, so that one definitely was worth it. Because anything that puts the maximum up will make it a lot better if we're going hunted eventually. I mean, there might be 10 lemons in the food hold. I'm pretty sure that they would be. So yeah, next week we'll definitely have one person to check there. I mean, that worked out really good. Look at all the stuff we have now. Oh, 2 flares. Okay, so definitely keep the flares. Hunting shotgun. +1 medium-sized animal killed at each hunting location. Ah, that's good. That looks good. Reduces the dogs required by 1 on locations. Okay, so if we're hunting from further away, we're required 5 dogs. It only requires 4 dogs. So that's really nice. His name is sewed inside, though you never saw him wear it. Yeah, that looks like that was... Overall, that made out like a bandit. Scurvy strike him down? No, not today. Not today. Of course, that's the thing. I don't know how hard it gets whenever you get out to the ice. It might be harder to hunt enough. The crew returned to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Despite the time, it's still bright light outside. Ooh. Evening. Before we took off, Grimley and I stopped into a greasy spoon in the city. Their sausage and egg was perfect. Best I ever had. Now I'm trying to remember its damn name. It's left my head. I didn't take you for the sort to enjoy the city. Just the food, Shaw. The people, well, not all of them are bad. You know, as far as rations go, this is good. Junior sure knows how to prepare dinner, doesn't he? He's too good for a ship like this. I mean, I'm definitely a petty criminal. I just ransacked those rooms. More of the same tonight. I had to get used to it. Not much you can do with the ice. We'll figure out something to do, won't we? We'll have to. You're pretty old, aren't you? Good eye, lad. Better than mine. Are you still working? You should be at home with your family. Don't have one. Do you not have any children? I might do. Don't know any, though. Okay, Grimley. It's getting harder to play. The cold makes the fingers stiff. We tried playing closer to the furnace? Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't be a complete loss if you stopped is going to endear me to Grimley. Not the same. Besides, Hammond would just throw the accordion in. Ooh, Kasha's here. Okay. Good evening, Captain. I was growing used to sleeping on a moving ship before we came trapped in the ice, you know. I think I won't have a good night's sleep until we return to land. I think that's something we can all look forward to. Yeah, come on, run, read the room! Good motivation, then? I know a hot bath and a warm bed are the first order of business when we return to land. I may stay bundled up for several days, truly savor it. But yeah, I need to get that scientist down there to get interviewed as well, just so that he gets the demoralization off. Not going to get any rest anytime soon, are we? No. Could have used some more hands. Hammond is worth 5 men, but even then... You ever get the feeling you're being watched, Shaw? Couldn't shake the feeling there was a pair of eyes on me while I was working there. Yeah, I'm sure sarcasm's not gonna... I feel being concerned he might be rushing me off, but maybe that'll help. You overworked. You should get some proper rest. Ah, damn it. I get sleep when I can. And often I can't. That's just how it is. Hammond don't give a damn about your concern. To be fair, there's a few people that... I think Kurt also has pretty high, loyalty. Evening, Shaw. I've been thinking about our pay once we return the land lately. Huh, don't mistake me for an avaricious sort, but I do have expenses to pay. Before we departed, I received a letter from one of my daughters, asking to cover the cost of her stage school. It would be a shame to promise a luxury only to retract it, don't you think? Oh, well, we'll just be the friendly sort. I wasn't aware you had a daughter, Kurt. Two, in fact. Both with the first wife. Just being... See, Kurt looks like he's also easy. That he's just simply the, you know, the good friendly sort. Anything? Afraid not. I didn't expect anything to come of it. Well, at least we can say we tried. Good evening, Captain. Was this something you needed? If you need the latest medical report, I'll have it prepared soon. Ah, goodness. I'm not sure if he's the type that would be like, don't ask questions about my background. I know, Kurt is just so jovial that he's like the dunk offender of our thing. Just so enthusiastic about it. And he's not like the vainglorious kind of like, I'm a movie star, such a diva. Let's see, we're just gonna simply... I was simply curious about you, Arthur. Me? Oh, well, I have nothing to be curious about, to be honest. I'm simply trying to get by like the others. Okay, so that just didn't get us anywhere. Shaw! Captain, if you find yourself stricken with boredom, I do have a book I would recommend. It's How to Read the Room and Get Lost. A textbook on different classes of wildflowers. The topic is more interesting than it may seem, I assure you. I would enjoy that, Templeton. Ah, yeah, that actually got him some loyalty. I will bring it to you when I have the chance, then. I think that's like the first thing he's done that where it's just like a personal friendly gesture. And it's just like, that actually warms his frozen heart. Oh, Templeton again. At the bow, you spot Kurt, measured for any signs and changes in the temperature. Still fast, no signs of any change. He notices you and gives a wave. Doubt we'll be moving anytime soon, Captain. Of course, sometimes you never know with the ice. You should get some rest. I'll let you know if anything changes. See that you get some rest yourself. I will. I get the feeling that he kind of like is overworking himself. But we all have to be alert. In my experience, changes come fast. Take care, Captain. Hey, welcome, Bloombug. Captain, a word. I felt now as good a time as any to review the word in our contracts. You do remember what was written in your contract? To be honest, I only skimmed the thing. Of course I do. Consider Article 3, and I quote, "The member of the staff shall throughout the period of such expedition obey all commands of the captain, and shall use his best endeavors to promote the success of the same. And in the event of anything happening to the captain, shall obey all commands of any member of the staff who shall be appointed by the captain in writing before his death." Get to the fucking point, Templeton! It being understood that the rest of the staff shall hold the same relations toward any member of the staff so appointed as towards the captain. As appointed by the captain in writing before his death. Are you contesting my leadership, Templeton? Was I not voted in as captain? The vote we held settled what was only a temporary arrangement in the eyes of the law. I know, I feel like that is true for Templeton. Even then, you only made it through by a hair, and you've lost my loyalty. Until you somehow manage to, unless you somehow manage to wrest a written transfer of captaincy from Hunt before his departure, in the eyes of the law, you are simply acting in his stead with no legal recourse to call upon. There's a chance Hunt and the deserters are still out there. Should we be reunited, your captaincy will be indeed called into question. I feel like this one would probably be... He's probably going to lose loyalty if I ask him it, because it seemed like last time I lost loyalty. The crew are unlikely to choose a deserter over me. I'm still here. You say that, knowing how the previous vote went, loyalty runs deep. The loyalty of the crew means everything. Get them on your side, Shaw. Keep them on your side. I see. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Templeton. Come on, give me some loyalty out of this. Remember my words, Shaw. I suggest you start with the Stoke brothers. It seems they speak for many of the sailors. That's why I'm trying to give them hope, Templeton, by doing the radio damn stuff. That's also why I got the luxury items. I got the chessboard. The chessboard, Templeton. Alright, so... yeah, that definitely is nice to have like the boost to the max things. I don't think I'd broken into the, yeah, when I played I hadn't broken into those rooms, so I didn't even know what was in there. But now that's like, damn, I wish I had. Okay, so that's good. The fact that I'm losing 50 every week is kind of bad, but... dogs arrested and available to be sent out. Another week on the ice. The ship shan't hold much longer. Mr. Gloss is demoralized. -5 decorum. I think this is where I stopped. Okay. I think I'll play one more week, and then that's where I'll stop. So that way I can be all... alright, let's do this. Templeton, Kurt, Cordell, and Hammond stand inside, the beginnings of a meeting. Well, Captain, it's been 3 weeks. Kurt tells me there's still no change in the ice. None. And best I can estimate, what change we will see won't free the ship. I predict the Temperance is more likely to be crushed under the pressure of the ice. And how long will that take? A few weeks at most. Unfortunately, we may have to look at alternatives rather than waiting for the ice to break up. Such as? Leaving the Temperance and making camp on the ice is something we will have to consider. Just have Mr. Gloss play chess. With death. Aye, the longer we stay on the ship, the more fuel we're having to burn. Not to mention risking another boiler incident. Yes, that matter almost cost lives. Heating a smaller camp burns through much less oil. And without enough fuel to survive a winter, we're dead. Don't think I need to tell you that. I would not be so quick to pack up and move out just yet. And why is that? The ship is shelter. The ship is safety. Currently, there are quite a few hunting opportunities presented to us. We will need to gather more food if we are to survive, and the ship provides a safe area to hunt from. Thank you. I'm not very good with the accent. It's just... and the fact is that, you know, with so many characters, it's hard to do a distinct voice except for the major ones. Right, and most of the crew aren't ready to give up either. They're stubborn, just as any crew should be. I would rather not play into stubbornness when lives are on the line. He has a point. Crew thinks we gave up too early, they'll resent the captain for it. But now we have a serious bloody flooding problem. We do? Aye, you might have noticed if you left your damn forecastle. It is safer to take the time to gather what we need before we leave, rather than raid the ship once we make ice. Well, the answer lies with the captain. Should we move off the ship this week? I think probably make one more week on the ship. I want to get into the food hold beyond that, and also get more stuff off. I do, from what I hear, that if you do stay on the ship too long, then eventually it's a game over. Not yet. We'll remain on the ship for now. Oh, we lost Hammond loyalty. Very well. When we remove the boiler from the furnace, that is when we make our move. When you're ready, you feel we're ready to go, just go to the boiler room and give the order. Okay. Mr. Gloss. Captain, we tried to use the radio. Oh god, we're all the sirens out there. My criminal background. Captain, we tried to use the radios to pick up any signals every evening for the past week. Nothing, I take it? Afraid not. As we expected. I have to say, though, I expected a worse reaction from the sailors. I suppose there's a relief in trying a method and knowing it to be unsuccessful. Now that we know we can move on to the next venture in this little reservation. With little reservation. They're resourceful people, I must say. Well, I suppose that anything that puts the crew's mind at ease is worth doing. Thank you, Mr. Glossley. Captain? My dogs appear to be struggling in the on-deck kennels. They require a more secure form of shelter from the environment. Dog loos, I believe they're called. Yes, I will require some hands to work on constructing them. It is for the health and safety of the pack. I'll put some of the crew to work on it. Concerned I've already opened the doors, except for the food hold. I think I actually have extra people to do that. Haha, she'll be loyal soon enough. Thank you. We must focus on keeping the dogs safe. Without them, the crew stands little chance of safety themselves. Mast was damaged when the ship was being tossed a while back, Captain. We guess best get someone to fix it before the Temperance is freed. Freed? Aye, ship could come loose at any moment. Heading up to repair the mast is a dangerous task. We don't even know if the ship will sail if the ice clears. Would be worth it, though. I think with the dog glues and such, it's probably best to not do the mast. Besides, we know this is a lost cause. Someone could get injured. I'd rather avoid that. Haha, Templeton, you're back in my crew! Templeton gang. Suit yourself, then. Oh, and I didn't even lose anything for it. I gained. I was summoned by Mr. Templeton. Yes, Mr. Isaac, this is regarding your personal item. What do you mean? I felt it pertinent to let the captain know you are carrying a weapon. Why did you bring a gun with you on an expedition, Isaac? Personal safety, of course. Perhaps this is my unfamiliarity with expeditions, but it surprised others did not bring an item to protect themselves. Many of the crew cannot afford such an item to themselves. Captain, it is up to you what to do with this revolver. With all due respect, this is my personal item, Captain. It is the captain's right to requisition any weapons on this ship. That includes your own. Oh, this weapon will be more useful in the hands of Cordell for the hunts. Ooh. He killed Hunt. He is the imposter. That weapon will be more useful in the hands of Cordell for the hunts. Oh, that gave me lots of loyalty. Very well, Captain. I understand. We would do well to avoid creating an imbalance of power among the crew. Oh no, now we need more whiskey. Why didn't I go Kegpire? I doubt the sailors would take too kindly to such a thing. Oh, now the worst one. Shaw. There's a rumor going around amongst the crew. They're saying the ship is haunted by the ghost of Captain Hunt. That's because Isaac's killed him. What ridiculous tripe. I thought you'd want to put a stop to it. Absolutely, we can't allow rumors like that to run rampant. Oh. I'll take the decorum hit. Yeah, Kegpire all the way. Absolutely, we can't allow rumors like that to run rampant. Oh, he's getting happy. Aye, crew won't be best pleased you're stopping their stories. It's better than allowing fear and superstition to run wild. Aye. I mean, that's what he wanted us to do, so I suppose that that's probably the better choice. And that's why it boosts loyalty. Yeah, but he's still not on my side. I've got Templeton on my side. Head to the boiler when you wish to abandon ship. I suggest we do so sooner rather than later. Ooh, what's this over here? Oh, build the dog loos. Okay. I kind of need to get these people started to be demoralized. To get them up. But first things first, I need to decide how I'm going to do this. Like, I do want to scout as much as possible. But I'm kind of unsure because I might need those scouts. I can see that I can hunt. But I don't want to actually do hunts right now. Because I can get more, it looks like, out of the, out of just grabbing stuff on the, boat. You ruffle its fur. You pat its head. It offers you its paw. The dogs are at least loyal to me. So I do need to save, what was it, 3 people for the dog blues? Yeah, it has to be 3. So I need 7 people for that. It's going to be 8 because I need to send 1 person to Kasha. Anyone free for an interview and a portrait? Ooh, 1 research and cure them of demoralization. Back in my day, I had my expeditions where I didn't have to monitor the damn radio all week, Kasha. They had me doing that all night. I can't believe that, Captain Shaw. There it is. I felt like I was trying to do the old man voice. I kept failing at it. Alright, what's in the food hold? Lefty. I choose you. There's food full of food and ale. Water flooded in, you have time to grab 1 item. Okay, ale kegs or tinned rations. And that's worth 80 food. Or the ale kegs to cure a person of demoralization. Oh my god, do I take the 80 food? Yeah, keg pyre sounds like that might be a good idea. Yeah, it said 4 ale kegs, and then it can't decide on whether it's 3 or 4. Alright, so we got everything that we could get there. Okay, so that worked out pretty good. I think I've got 2... I wonder how I implement that. Okay, Mrs. Gloss, get me your, help down here. Come down to the depths, aye? She goes, so do we. Abandon ship! I like how it's just all capitals. Hold on. Okay, so it's at 62, so I only need to put 2 in. Yeah, it's totally... Well, no, we know that... We've been told that the ship will eventually be crushed by the ice if we don't get off of it. But how long we actually have before that happens is still uncertain. Like, I think we can use this week, but pretty much like next week we need to definitely start leaving. How do I use the kegs? Oh, plus 10. Ooh. Okay, so that's how I do it. I have to put it in the pot. Okay, they get to work. Oh. Crate of spoiled rations. Oh no. Sugly exhumed from the Temperance. That is not good. How did I not get good rations out of that? Very disappointed. Now I have to give bad stuff. Oh yeah, put some coal in the in the pot. God damn it. Now we got to decide. The spoiled rations is... was that on this shelf? I guess we just got, like, bad luck. I'm gonna actually just try and interview next week. I can't even put more in. I guess we're gonna be on the, I think that it said that we cure people of malnutrition if we give them normal rations for the week, so maybe it'll offset itself. Dagnabbit. He's demoralized and malnourished now. Okay, let's see what we can do here. No, I want... There we are, get the dog glues going. Ooh, +1 sledding dog. Okay, so we're using 9 of them to get that. Cordell shows the crew how to assemble the snowy shelters. Yeah, he's like on drugs. Okay, so maybe it was a good thing I didn't... Oh, they're still showing 14 dogs despite that. I don't know what to make of that. Okay, so yeah, let's get out there and do that. Which then means I might be able to actually just put them in the med bay. Is there anything I can do for the crew? You get a sick bay. You get a sick bay. Yeah, you guys rest. I was terribly deceived by what was down there. I still got 2 more spoiled rations. I guess I'm gonna need to go hunting sooner rather than later. Oh, I can enter my old cabin. Okay, so that gets us pretty much everything done that can be done. I think the plan will be to leave the ship on the next week. The crew have their meal. Especially if we can't get food from all the stuff. If we can't get good rations from the shelves. Crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Despite the time, it's still bright light outside. And I swear, when that hook came swinging, Captain Hunt had to pull me down. This was 5, 6 years ago? I had no clue what I was doing. Both of us nearly lost an eye that day. Same expedition, Ward lost his arm. Half the time, I don't think Hunt knew what he was doing, either. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna endear me. Well, you have a new captain down. I'm sure he did. He seemed a good captain. Oh, I got Junior's loyalty! Aye, he is. Served us well, no doubt. Did you need something? I want to commend you both for keeping spirits high. See, I feel like that if I'm butting in on the stories about Hunt, then they're gonna be like, you're trying too hard. So we'll just commend them. I want to commend you both for keeping spirits high. Well, it's still business as usual. I can still cook up a good meal. Nothing has changed here. Worried about the vote, aren't you? You've seen through me, Grimley. Oh, is that it, Shaw? I don't care about that. I genuinely am checking in. Are you now? Alright, let's leave it at that, Grimley. Nice of you to check in, Shaw, but I think it's time the crew called it a night. Is there an issue I'm not aware of? I feel like that this is going to, like, set him down and make me loses. A word to the wise, Robin. I have nothing against you, but we sure don't know you either. It's going to take more than simple pleasantries to earn Grimley's trust. We actually did it. We got Junior's loyalty. Let's see. One of Templeton's team tried to talk to me while I was working. They were going on and on about their spouse or something. Ended up telling me to fuck off. Think they got the message. You have full permission to do so anytime your work is interrupted. Yeah. I feel like this will endear myself to him and... You have full permission to do so anytime your work is interrupted. Dagnabbit, didn't need permission. But I knew you'd understand. I will definitely give permission for him to tell anyone to fuck off. Alright, Templeton. Evening, Captain. Have you been reading that textbook? I understand if you do not have the free time. I don't know if we can actually read it. I'm gonna say we have been. I assume that we probably have made an attempt. Good. I had hoped you would enjoy it. Okay, good. So we didn't actually have the choice to read it. We just have to say that we are, and it's assumed that we did. I suppose the topic does provide an escape from the ice as well. Let me see. What do you have in your pocket? What does it matter to you? Hunched over, clutching something. It's sus. I'm holding an egg. An egg? Why? I mean, to be honest, any kind of reading would be helpful in this sort of situation. Keeps my hands warm. Boiled eggs keep heat. That is actually rather ingenious. We know the cold better than you lot, anyway. Still no signs of change, I take it? Afraid not, Templeton. The ice is yet to budge. Moving to the ice looks more and more of a necessity as I see it. You may just be right, chum. Your team of scouts best be keeping their focus. We're gonna find a way from this pack. The two notice you. Ah, Captain! I wouldn't worry about the ice. My team will find a path, I have no doubt. At ease, Kurt. You're doing good work. Thank you, Captain. I promise my team won't grow lazy. This is certainly not the place for it. It was good to hear that Plek recovered from their wounds. That incident with the boiler was rather dire. Nothing else, we can take solace in avoiding a life being lost. Good evening, Captain. Will this take long? The dogs are fed and rested. However, I dislike leaving them alone. You've trained them well. There won't be any issue. That would be my hope, but you can never be certain. You pat its back. You stroke its head. You nod knowingly at it. Alright, so we got Dog Lose ready to deploy. And this probably is a good time to, once this week ends, we'll save and then we're gonna move on to the ice. This is terrible though with our food rations. Oh, okay, so then, yeah. If we do that... Okay, so that's good to know. We had the folks free to be able to put them in the med bay, but if we have normal rations, then one crew member gets cured of their malnourishment. And if we do half fuel, one person gets cured of freezing, but two will get cured of freezing with normal. Okay, so that's good to know. Dogs arrested and available to be sent out. Another week on ice, naked in the wind. Mr. Zack was cured of their malnourishment. Cavity was cured of their malnourishment. Mr. Gloss raised their spirits, speaking the Kasha, no longer demoralized. He's demoralized. Week 7. 4 weeks at Temperance Camp. Okay. Game saved a tree. So yeah, this is where I'm gonna leave for today. And then I think the plan is to get onto the ice for the upcoming week. Because we don't know how much longer the ship will last. Let's take a look. It's changing. Oh, there was like... Yeah, it looks like the ice is probably going to be the case that we'll be moving to there on land. Especially since they said that winter was coming. I'm not sure how much this will actually give us in terms of food. Not to mention with how many people we're going to have to deploy to hunt. But I'm guessing that food is going to become harder and harder. So yeah, this one is called The Pale Beyond. I'll probably continue streaming it next Sunday and seeing how far I can go. And hopefully keeping people alive. And not necessarily more demoralized or so forth. But nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you next time.